Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm JT, and this is LA.
Hey, LA's here. Thanks for having me, JT. We are back. We are back going live, talking what we talking. And happy Sunday. Today is Sunday, so it is a happy Sunday for me. I get to rest up today. So let's get into this. We back with Trump again. Trump is in office, and as expected, he's already been mightier with the pen than the sword. And let's get into this clip here regarding how he how he's gonna make America great again. I don't know how, but let's listen to this.
Oval Office, 1,500 pardons were signed by President Trump, 6 commutations for those who have pled guilty or have been convicted by a jury of their peers for offenses related to the Capitol riot, January 6, 2021. Also, the president said that on February 1st, he said approximately that would be the time he thought it would be proper to impose tariffs of up to 25% on Canada and Mexico. He also talked at great length about what he may or may not do with TikTok and its threatened ban under federal law. He also talked at length about trying to figure out a way to end the war between Russia and Ukraine, and saying for the first time that Vladimir Putin is destroying Russia, harming its economy, and hollowing out its military, or words to that effect. Also, several executive orders signed about declaring an emergency on the southern border and with American energy production.
So yo, check this out, right? While we're here for the show today, guess what came in Colombia? They blocked two U.S. military transportation planes that had immigrants, migrants, deportees from landing in Colombia. And because of that, Trump just executed an emergency 25% tariff on Colombia alone. This has nothing to do with what he initially talked about with Mexico and Canada. So he's saying that if they don't allow those planes to land, he's going to impose a 50% tariff within the next week after that. So that just came in today in all the news reports. So um, I think the biggest thing here is allowing what was it 1,500 people that committed a crime on Capitol Hill where people died. They all get to be pardoned by Donald Trump, the president. That's crazy to me. I don't see how that's a huge part of history in this country. And it's like, yo, y'all are good now. But we can't complain, right? If he let Kodak Black go, then he gotta let his people go.
The French gave America the Statue of Liberty, right? Colombia has given America some of the most beautiful women of in the world. You do not send that back.
Oh my gosh. You don't send back the beautiful women. You know, like
Like the Sophia Vergara's and no, that you claim that as ours. You expedite a citizenship for them. You don't send them back. What, and then tax them? Like, see, I knew something wasn't right.
I mean, what about the Colombian men? Do they go back and the women stay here? See, I don't know. I have a problem with this because for the immigration laws, usually if you're the parent and you are an illegal citizen in this country and you have a child that is born into this country, when that child turns 18, they are legally allowed to sponsor their own parents to stay within this country. And from what I've been hearing, that is no longer going to apply. He's not going to allow a child that's born in this country to stay here and be a sponsor for their legal parents. But I got to do some more research on that. But I've taken immigration law, so I understand that part. And I just think that the people that are already here, find a place for them. You know, this been a DEI country since the beginning. Everyone has come to this country. Willingly and not willingly, people have been brought to this country. So since when are we sending people back? I mean, I get your point about
inflation got real high, and it's every man for themselves.
I mean, we have beautiful people here, so maybe that's his defense. Like, yo, we got enough of our own beautiful Americans. We don't need Colombian women or men here. Maybe, you know, what if he's thinking like that in comparison to what you think?
Yeah. Does he have an American wife?
No, she's from over there. His wife is a former escort. We know this. Like, look, come on now. Come on.
Allegedly, I don't want no type of lawsuit.
I have an opinion. I don't have to use the word allegedly. I have an opinion. You know, like I don't see the companionship there. I don't see the compatibility. I'm not getting it, but you know, my senses are telling me otherwise, you know. But let's play clip number 2, and then they're gonna break down exactly like how they feel about this man.
It just shows how much has changed. I was there that day, and to go from there to now, where those 1,500 defendants have now been...
Right, we have a complete recasting of what that was then and what President Trump says, and with the power of the pardon pen, has declared it a basic non-event in American history with no criminal implications going forward.
Yeah, it didn't happen. That would be like erasing slavery. Yo, like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. We didn't just take people and put them on boats and have them, you know, running across the triangle to do work for us. Like, it didn't, like, 1,500 people pardoned and people died. Like,
what do you think would have happened if the South won the Civil War? This is the same thing. Like, yeah, if Trump wins, then Trump pardons Trump's people. Like, I expected a pardon to be given to them the day of January 6th. Like, I thought, you know, he sat and kicked back and just watched the stuff on TV and then said, yeah, go home now. Like, it was like, if you didn't think he was going to give them pardons, I don't know.
I didn't think he was going to give them pardons. I thought that he was going to celebrate them, like when, like, going to visit them in prison. I didn't think he was going to give them pardon to be like a slap in the face to the people of this country, like the people who actually work.
You know that convicted felons can't go visit people in jail, right?
Well, even that is a problem. He's a convicted felon, 35 charges. He's a president of this country. So I guess he feels their pain now. He's like, yo, I feel how they feel. I understand what being a convicted felon is. Let me just help them out. We can't say anything because Kodak Black is free. What can we say? We can't say nothing. See, that's the thing. He let go a few of us for 1,500 of his own. Like, that's crazy. We didn't see this coming, but listen, that's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, it's Trump doing his thing, and we just have to respect it. He's the president for the next 4 years. This is his last term. Unless a new law gets written, he can only serve twice. So this will be his last time.
Like, what does that do to the crime rate? Like, you know, there's always been this disparity of, you know, the prison system being, you know, this many black people in it. All 1,500 of those people, I believe, were white. Like, I don't believe that there were any black people in there. So I'm like, we had 1,500 to 0, and now we've lost that 1,500. So now it's back at a bigger disparity of, you know, prisons being like 85% black.
I mean, yeah. Unless we get our stuff together and stop getting locked up and stop, you know, let's get our poverty together so we don't have to be out committing crimes to take care of our families.
Yeah, I'm just saying, are they gonna redo like the crime statistics to reflect these unconditional pardons that were given?
Of course not. No. we just got to ride it out and know that the system is not for us. And we got that, like I said, we got that handshake with Kodak Black. He was very vocal about it. He's very, he showed a lot of gratitude, but he was like, yo, I let a few of them go. I'm letting my peoples go. And it was a much bigger incident. Like they rioted on Capitol Hill. Imagine if you had 1,500, if you had all of those people and you changed them and made them people of color, they'd all be dead right outside the gates. They wouldn't have had a chance to get inside the building. They'd be shot down right outside the gates. But I mean, it is what it is. Let's see what this third clip what Trump is talking about. Because now he's trying to go.
Before you get to that, I just want to tell everybody out there to like, comment, subscribe, share the video out.
Oh, how do we forget that? Hit the button, people. Subscribe, like us. Let us know that we're doing something good here. Let me know if my lighting is bad. Fix my lighting, so let me know. All right, so let me play this next clip from Trump.
Absolutely not. And also, this is in part, like, as you know, like he campaigned on this for the last 2 years. We saw this. It was on this. It was on immigration, which is in part what they do credit as why he run, right? And here he said he was gonna start day one with a bang, and he essentially has with these slew of executive actions, and designating some of the cartels and criminal organizations as terrorist organizations. This is all red meat for his base, but also promises that he had said he would do or actions he said he would take.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Finn, because the implications of declaring drug cartels foreign terrorist organizations means the U.S. military might be involved not just at defending the border, but going into Mexico with military action. And when asked directly about that, just moments ago, President Trump said, I might. Stranger things have happened. Kind of glib about it, but definitely leaving that as a potential future action he might take.
All right, so why do you think that he cares about the cartels in Mexico? What is that his business? Why? What's the problem?
Because they flood America with drugs.
They killing black people. What does he care? We're killing us with it. Like what does that have to do with him?
Hello, the opioid crisis isn't really affecting us as much as it's affecting them.
Well, people with money that can afford to buy opioids 24/7, is that it?
Yeah, and like doctors are stingy with giving opioids to minorities, but they have no problem prescribing that to middle America, suburban youth, which get addicted and then end up being fentanyl and all this other stuff.
All right, so he's addressing a white America problem.
Yeah,
I guess that's good then. I think that we got to do our own checks and balances in our own community and just know that. I mean, if that does happen, it does impact because we lose money as hustlers, right? Drug dealers and everything like that. It trickles down. Even that, it's a good thing, but it still trickles down to hurting the people that's out here selling it. It's still gonna impact us. I'm not promoting illegal activities or anything, but now what's gonna be the new hustle for people that can't be out here selling drugs? Now what do? There's always something. There's always something to take away from us, but it's never enough to help us in the right way. We're more positive. I'm not saying that there's not things out there, but some of us just can't get past our reality, which is the hood. You grew up in poverty, it becomes your mindset and your lifestyle. So what's going to happen now? It's interesting. I mean, we'll see. I'm sure there's some challenges with it, but black people, we got to get ourselves some legitimate jobs, get our lives together, because this opioid crisis, once that shuts down, it's on to another hustle for us. And we always have to pivot because we always in survival mode. But yeah, so Trump is in office and we just got to keep checking in and see what else he got going on. And, give him his respect for now. It's his last term, so we just got to think it out loud. All right, 1 year down, 2 year down, third year, and then fourth year, and then celebrate right after that. We could get something worse than him or something better. Who knows?
Or he can use his Supreme Court nominations to get another amendment so he gets another term.
That too. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, when you help out your friends, don't you help out your network of people? No different. It's politics. The power's bigger, but we all help out our people. So speaking of help, you want to run the next one? Where we at?
Okay.
We alive.
All right, check this out.
Fast as we can, but we want you to be safe. We want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't
Yes,
cost
and
a
they
lot.
can,
You
and
should
they are
let them
able
do
to-
it because
No,
by the
they
time you
can do
hire
that.
contractors, it's
Right.
going to be 2 years.
If a family,
People are willing to get a dumpster and do it themselves and clean it out.
and they can.
There's
do
not that much left. It's all incinerated.
That's right.
And, you know, it's just going to take a long time if you do. You can do some of it, but a lot of these people, I know that guy right there that's talking. I know my people. You'll be on that thing tonight, throwing the stuff away, and your site it'll look perfect within 24 hours. And that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to wait around for 7 months till the city hires some demolition contract
If
that's going to
individuals
charge him
want to build-
$25,000 to do his lot. I think you have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked,
signed
I
an
mean, you have a
emergency
very powerful
declaration.
emergency power, and you
Yes.
can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes. And if individuals want to clear out their property, they can. Well, yes, but you know that you will be able to go back soon.
Mr. President.
We think within a week.
That's a long time, a week. I'll be honest. To me, everyone's standing in front of their house. They want to go to work, and they're not allowed to do it.
And the most important
week
thing
is
is
a
for
long
people to
time.
be safe.
They're safe. They're safe. You know what? They're not safe. They're not safe now. They're going to be much safer. A week is actually a long time, the way I look at it. I watched hundreds of people standing in front of their lots, and they're not allowed to go in. It's all burned. It's gone. It's done. Nothing's going to happen to it. It's not going to burn anymore. There's nothing to burn. There's almost nothing to burn. And they want to go in. The people are all over the place. They're standing, and I say, why aren't you going in? We're trying to get a permit. And the permit's going to take them, everybody said 18 months. You said 18 months. You said 18 months.
Last night.
And that was last night.
On that.
Fast as
Wait, did you see that they took away her microphone, the mayor's microphone? Like they literally moved her microphone away from her while Trump was talking.
I'm like, he doesn't even look, what do you call it? Like dressed, like suited and booted, like presidential. He's just like, yeah, I don't have a tie. I have the first two buttons undone. It must have been hot as hell. Like, is the fire still going or something? Like, he's just very casual. He has a baseball cap on, like, and it's a campaign hat. So I'm like, make America great again. Aren't you making? You got to put an ing on it. Like now that you've actually won the election, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, he's emergency. You know how there's a fire, you just throw on what you need to throw on and get up out of there. He got to LA. He talking with the mayor. They took her microphone away. I think because she was interjecting too much. Like they literally grabbed her microphone. I saw that. Yo, he's working. I mean, he got his fitted on, like he rocking out. He didn't need a tie. It was an emergency meeting about an emergency happening in LA. I think he kind of like fit in. I wouldn't. That's like if it was a female president and she showed up with her hair and makeup done. Like, wait, hold on. You put on makeup and we had an emergency going on. Like, you know, he just came out. He showed up. He said 1 week is too long. What do you think?
What he's saying sounds good. The mayor didn't have a really good counterpoint towards what he was saying, so I kind of got to ride with what he was saying because it wasn't really challenged all that well. I don't necessarily know, boots on the ground, what it's like out there to say they should or shouldn't be able to, to clear the stuff themselves, how safe it is or what have you. But it's your property, so I would think that you should be able to do whatever you need to do with it. Like, why are you just homeless and waiting?
Well, because like you said, they're expecting that they need to get a permit, but this is an emergency situation, and some of those people have probably never dealt with a real life emergency as big as this to know that there's going to be things to override usual deadlines for getting a permit to work on your property. So, these people need guidance. They need to be supported. People have to bring ideas to them for them to know that, okay, oh wow, I can do this. Oh, I'm not familiar with this. This has never happened to me before. So if they're saying 18 months and now they can clarify, like, no. We'll get these done for you in a week to 2 weeks, but you have to hire an engineer and architect, but you'll get a permit. We'll expedite them as quickly as possible. Some people just are not familiar with it.
Where are you putting all this stuff? These are like whole towns burnt to the ground. You gather all this stuff up and put it where?
Where does trash normally go? In the landfill?
Yeah, but a whole town can't fit in a landfill, though. You know what I mean? Like,
there's gonna be land out there, whether it gets from Cali to the deserts in Nevada, Las Vegas. It's gonna go. There's desert. It's gonna go somewhere. It has to go somewhere. Even if they've transported from state to state, it has to go somewhere.
I think that's going to be a long and arduous process.
No.
And some people are going to want to put it in the ocean.
No. You said this stuff is going to get cleaned up quick because the Olympics is on their way there. So
yeah, they're gonna fix up where the Olympics is going to be, and it's gonna be like when the Holocaust was happening in Germany, and they all inside the Olympic what do you call it, city or what have you, is pristine, but outside is just nothing but it's just tore up and messed up all the way around the rest of the city that doesn't have the Olympics.
I think they're gonna find space for all of this stuff. There's a lot of land out there. They'll find a space for it. If not, they're just gonna transport it to another state, distribute it wherever it needs to go.
Do you know how much fraud is gonna happen? Like,
of course,
people are stripping, the stuff from these sites, and they're gonna sell it as though it's new and install it. People will be having, shoddy frameworks and structures, and with all the earthquakes and stuff out there, structures will be more likely to fall and stuff like this. It's going to be a catastrophe that just goes on and on and on.
That usually happens with natural disasters. There's a lot of fraud that takes place, and a lot of people don't recover, just like with Hurricane Katrina. And out there in New Orleans and stuff, like a lot of places just don't recover. Everyone's not going to pull through. There's going to be a lot of casualties. People are going to have to start over. But it happens. You can never be prepared for starting over an entire life. That's just, how can you wrap your mind around that? Like, you starting at zero as if you were a brand new baby. That's hard. I know there's going to be a lot of therapy taking place. And I strongly support therapy. Like, people need to tap into that right now. Even though they're in crisis, they really need to start to unpack themselves now, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to crumble mentally under all of these things. Like, parents are the heroes to their children, so kids are looking for parents to come up with all the answers. So I know a lot of therapists are making money out there. I know, their rate is going up. My therapist charges $250 a session, so I know that they have already price gouge therapy. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So going into the next story. since the federal government has decided to, unalive DEI, the private companies, there's a lot of private companies that are doing the same, and the National Action Network, headed by Al Sharpton, is supporting those that support the African American community. One of them being Costco's, and he's doing a buy-in campaign where he's supporting Costco's. You can take a look at this clip right here. All right, so what do you think about Al Sharpton?
I mean, that's typical of him. He's always been a crowdfunder. He can always bring a crowd together. That's been from the beginning of his career. That's what he does. I like the fact that it's Costco. I'm a member of Costco. I'm an executive member to Costco. So, I support the fact that he's highlighting Costco's efforts to keep DEI enrolled in company policy and procedure.
Hold
And
on.
he's telling people, yo,
You gotta put me on. What's an executive member of Costco's? I didn't know they had levels and
oh,
layers.
oh, that's when you got a business, you get your little executive account and you get a lot of cash back. Like every year I get about a $300 check, $400 check back from Costco's, and they mail it out to me, a rebate check. I go back into the store, I run that up. You get rewards and stuff like that when you're an executive member. The membership is a little bit more, but you get a lot of money back when you're an executive member at Costco. So, you got to become an entrepreneur, become a boss, and those kind of things, work in your favor, So, I got some clout. I got a little clout. But yeah, Costco's is it. You go in there, they sell things in bulk. They do a lot of vending with companies that, like things that you've never heard of before. You get a chance to try them at Costco's. I like Costco's service. So the fact that he's highlighting that store and I'm a member there, it just kind of like is a reminder to me why I shop at Costco's. They do really good by their customers. Returns are really easy. Like, I love Costco, so I rock out with them all the time. But I like that he mobbed out. They came through to show their support. And you need to see that. You need to see that this is where we're willing to spend our dollar. And we have one of our Black leaders saying, hey, yo, come to Costco, spend your money over here, because they're not willing to follow the leader and do what everyone else is doing. They're doing the right thing that impacts our people. So go to Costco, spend your money there. Don't go to Walmart. Go to Costco. So I love it. I love it. You have to see this. Sometimes people need a visual of what direction they need to be going in. Because a lot of people go to Walmart. Walmart pricing is very, very good for a lot of households. But he's like, yo, come to Costco. So, depending on the person, either you may pay a little bit more for a membership, but go someplace where your money is going back into the employees. Most of the people at Costco's are Black and brown. No, from any Costco that I go to, from here in New York City, down to VA where I shop a lot, down to Jersey where I shop a lot, and down to Florida, most of the workers in there are Black and brown. So you need DEI there. So that's good.
All right. So
how many people? How many people you think was there?
I think he said over 100.
Yeah, looks like over 100 people. Yeah, I rock with it.
So getting into this next clip, you want to set this up with Bernice King?
Yeah, I think that we get really political with these highlights. Like, I love it. I mean, they're like different. So this is the one we're gonna watch. This is Sexy Red and Bernice King, respectfully Bernice King, and she's like, yo, this is not inclusion at all. Like, let's play this clip.
Yesterday, Sexy Red, you will never ever hear me discuss her on this show, only within this context. Yesterday, Sexy Red decided to post this AI-generated photo of her dancing, holding hands, and dancing with Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Well, that didn't sit too well with his daughter, Bernice, one of his 2 surviving children. Bernice posted this. This is intentionally distasteful, dishonoring, deplorable, and disrespectful to my family and my father, who is not here to respond himself because he was assassinated for working for your civil and human rights and to end war and poverty. Please delete. Well, Sexy Red has deleted that photo. Unfortunately, let me find it right here. I saw it a bit early. Give me 1 second. Unfortunately, there was a second photo that she did leave up that put her in. This is the one. Let's see right here. This is the one that she put up, her holding a handful of cash as if she was marching in one of these protests. And so that one is still up. Real quick, get our panel's thoughts up.
All right. I didn't see the second one. The second image, I did not see that. I was only aware of the first one. The second one is crazy to me.
I'm like, with all this should be with all due respect to Sexy Red, because I'm like, you know, if you you know, read the Bible or you know, are familiar with Christian scripture, you know, there's Mary Magdalene who followed Jesus around. So you're telling me that you know, hoes don't deserve salvation? You know, oh, he fought for your rights and you know all this stuff. Yeah, and part of that right is for you, you know, for her to be there. You know, I'm like, what is wrong with her being in a picture with him? It's not like, you know, she's doing something to him or he's doing something to her. It's just they're standing together.
No. They're dancing. They're holding hands, and the behind the scenes is a party. What are you talking about? The behind the scenes is a party. Like
this could be a celebration. Obama got elected or something. You don't know what.
I mean, you know what
they could be celebrating.
You're right, but let's leave Dr. Martin Luther King out of these celebrations. All right, he's somebody that should not be touched. She should have put a picture with Obama. Let's leave Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. out of anything, especially for the kind of music that she raps about. Okay, equality for everyone. We get it, equality for everyone. But
yeah, and a part of nonviolence, right, is freedom of speech, and you have to allow her to freely express herself.
She's expressing herself, but she needs to stay. Certain people you don't touch, certain things you don't address, certain things you don't do. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is one of them.
I would not put him in line with like Muhammad or Allah, which can't be depicted in photos and images.
No. Nah, he's hands off. I mean, she played a game with that one. Obviously,
what are all the club promoters that for MLK weekend have MLK's head on Rick Ross's body and he's holding bottles of champagne and you know?
I don't agree with that either. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. This is Dr. Martin Luther King that we're talking about. Civil rights movement of 1964, civil rights movement of 1965 is all wrong. Some things you just don't touch. Some things you just don't touch. And if his daughter says this is disrespectful and deplorable and whatever the word she want to use, she's free to use it. Yo, that's her pops. Don't do nothing with her. First of all, that's such a legacy. We have to learn some things we just cannot do. We should just don't touch it. This man was assassinated. He didn't just die. He was killed. He was stopped in his tracks.
He wasn't killed by a scantily clad dressed female.
It doesn't matter. He was assassinated. That changes things. He didn't die like in his sleep. He was assassinated, meaning that.
So that means that we can't make memes of Tupac because he was shot?
Well, Tupac is different. Tupac, he was a leader to our generation, and yeah, he was political, but we talking about a moment in time in history. The way that Tupac was delivering his music, he was allowed to call female hoes and bitches, and he was allowed to say thug life, and he was allowed to fucking do whatever he wanted to do and still be political, and it was embraced by younger people. This is Dr. Martin Luther King. I can't even have an argument with you on this one. No, don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch Malcolm X. Like, those people, leave them be. Like, even if she had a pole standing next to Sojourner Truth, don't touch it. Fredless Douglass with an afro, don't touch it. Like, yo, we gotta leave it. Some things you just don't touch. But she did what she wanted to do, and Bernice King respectfully was like,
so it's just basically about dead folks. Like, if she wanted to have Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, it's good.
No, we have to start respecting our leaders. We have to start respecting our leaders. We got to listen, in the hood, all the drug dealers get respected. Yo, don't mess with so-and-so, they're a killer. We got to start respecting the leaders of our time. We got to respect them. That's it. That's all I'm saying to it. Can't touch it. Can't touch this. Nope, can't touch it. Just leave it. And she said, yo, please delete it. I was expecting for Sexy Red to be a little off, and be like, yo, I do what I want. I'm Sexy Red. I got money, but her response was, you are right. And that's the best thing that she could have done between the difference in the generations. That bridged it right there, that you are right. I'm out of line. No matter how much money and popularity Sexy Red has, she acknowledged that you are correct. But the one with the stack of money in the march, oh my gosh. I would have, I don't know. I mean, but they settled it. And she went on to further say, I'm not trying to come at you. I respect what you do, as a young lady. Like, there was additional messaging that Bernice King said in that message. And she just was like, look, this is just about my father. This isn't about you or anything else. So, yo, let it rock. I love it. I
don't know. So you telling me that people coming up in this generation, this millennium, can't have crushes on civil rights leaders?
Nah, we gotta do better. We gotta make better choices.
We have to do better by not having crushes on civil rights leaders.
Yo, that's like one of your friends saying, yo, I got a crush on your mom's. Can I take her out on a date? What are you talking about? That's like one of your friends saying, yo, your moms look real good, yo. Like, your moms look good for her age. Do you mind if I go out on a date with her? Like, what are you talking about?
No, I think it's totally different, because I'm like, Bernice King is old enough to probably be Sexy Red's grandmother or something, right? So It's like a little kid say, your great grandma look kind of good. Like, you don't even really take it serious. It's like, yeah, all right.
Listen, it's some things you just don't do and just don't say. And this here is one of them. And Bernice King said it out loud. Sexy Red acknowledged it and agreed with her. And that serves to the point. Sexy Red said, you are right. And that's all we hear. You are right. One Sexy Red who did it said, you are right. That's it. It's over. What else you got? She told it. She said, yo, you're right. Nothing else. It's done.
All right.
Sexy Red wasn't thinking like how you saying, like, yo, we the new generation. Y'all got to get up with what y'all old heads. None of that. She didn't. She said, you're right. I thought it was innocent. Boop, delete. There you go. Boom. There you go. She could have went at her like, yo, what you talking about, grandma? Like, yo, this 2025, you know how much money I got? You know who I am? She's like, no, you are right. I thought it was innocent. Boom. There you go. All right, let's get to some. What you was gonna say? I want to get into this Snoop thing.
All right, go ahead. I'll let you set those up.
All right, so check this out. Snoop is in a happy place, y'all.
Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. I'm cool. I'm together. Still a black man. Still 100% black. All out. Till you ball out. Or till you fall.
He's not phased. He's not phased by the comments. He's not phased by our opinion of him performing, you know, for Trump and his team and stuff. I wonder why. He said he's 100% black man still, right? But as black people, we are expected to stand for something and do certain things and not do other things like we talked about previously. But I'm going to play. Let's play this here. It looked like he was DJing his own set. But he performed and he looked like he was enjoying it, right? How much money do you think he got paid to perform?
Probably is starting at half a mil.
That's crazy. You think he did it just for the bag? Or did he have another position?
I think it was just I think it was just for the bag. Some people are like, you know, he is a Crip, so you know, there's probably people he wants to get pardoned or whatever. Like, I don't really necessarily believe that.
Well, we talking about the new Snoop because the old Snoop was saying something else in this next clip. Let me play it.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the one of you Uncle Tom for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first? I suppose the one that performs for himself.
So what happened?
I guess he knew exactly what they were going to say because he is I and I am him, as he says in the Snoop Dogg song.
Yeah, but how much of a flip? He did a complete 360 on that.
No, that'd be a 180.
Oh yeah, well, but see, I was never good in math, so don't ever be upset when I get the numbers wrong. I was never ever good in math. He did a 180 on that. He went from calling somebody a name if they perform for Donald Trump to him sitting in his car saying he's happy, 100% love, mind our business, don't worry about him. I'm confused. I'm concerned because what's the messaging? You know, when you are an adult, you walk around, you don't think about the kid that's watching you from across the street when you do something. Whether you're smoking a cigarette or you're having an argument with someone in public, you're not thinking about the kid that is watching you. I don't know if these entertainers are really thinking about the kids that are watching and listening to them. But what's the conversation in his own household? Because he has children. Like, what are they saying? You know, what is he telling them?
His kids is grown. Snoop is like a grandfather.
His grandchildren. Yeah, he has kids around him. He coaches a football team. What is the messaging?
The messaging is I make a crap ton of money, and anybody who has anything has voted for Trump because he said, you know, whatever about tax.
Okay. So it's just like open and closed book. Like, we done with the chapter. Like, yo, I said that before, but now the numbers make sense. So yeah, I think it's right now. And we're entitled.
That was pre-pandemic. Like, the pandemic had me not performing and doing shows for like two plus years or something like that. So yeah, I don't need the tax man, you know, with his hand all in my pocket, you know, while I'm trying to get my money back. So yeah, Trump, I guess. Not necessarily me, but you know, that's the messaging that I'm projecting Snoop has in his head.
Okay, so But we don't know because he's not talking about why he chose to perform. Like, you know, people don't like to backtrack on their words. I don't think any person does that. Like, if you be like, yo, but before you said you didn't like this person, now I see you hanging out with this person all the time. It could be one of your friends. You're like, yo, dude, you said you didn't like homeboy. Now you and homeboy is hanging out together. What's up with that? You expect an answer. Like, yo, you really had a lot to say about this person. Like, his words were very strong. And then you're like, wait, so now you get how can I trust you? Where's the integrity? I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he got the money. And no matter what he does, he's going to always have the bag, right? The money is there. He's not going to send it back. But where's the integrity in your statements? And some people don't think about integrity when it comes to their brand, you know, with entertainment. So I don't know.
I'm like, his brand is so crossover now with Martha Stewart and all this other stuff. It's like, yeah, who gives a hoot about the hood, so to say? You know, the majority of my fans are those that watch me host the Olympics and stuff like that.
Yeah, Trump supporters. So it makes sense. You're right, Shaq. I got it. You're right. I got it. You're right. So let's run to the next one.
Okay.
New York City. This is New York City. New Jack City, the home of everything. But check this out.
Overnight, the NYPD investigating 2 separate shootings. No one was killed, but this does end one of the most peaceful times on record for the NYPD when it comes to gun violence. Eyewitness News reporter Reagan Medji is live from East New York, where police are investigating one of the shootings. Good morning, Reagan.
So with that clip, we had 5 days of no shootings in NYC. I believe they said it was the first time in like 30 years or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, did you feel any safer during the past week?
No, I didn't feel a climate of it being safer now. I know it's winter time and it's extremely cold for New York. This is not our typical winter, so usually the numbers get lower because no one's outside. It's been below freezing. It's been in the teens. So who's going to be outside popping off? And guess what?
It's just a shooting in the city. Because I'm like, I understand crime statistics. You know, summertime is the killing season. You know, all that type of stuff. But with the pandemic and COVID and RSV and all this other type of stuff, I'm surprised that, you know, it didn't lead to escalated violence. Somebody coughs or sneezes in the wrong direction and then just sparks fly. Like,
no, we won't have that. Nah, everything in New York is about the money. Like, nah, it's been so cold. People are not outside. So I can see that 5 day run being in a correlation to how cold it was after it snowed. That it was about 5 days. And now that it's gotten warmer, now people can stand outside and tolerate the weather. So now people are back to having a conflict outside their car because they're not in a rush to get into their car. One of the shootings had to do with one guy hitting another person's car. If it was freezing cold like it was, everybody would have hopped in it. Oh, no, you good? You all right? All right, no damage. All right, keep it moving. But now that it's a little warm, now people can tolerate their hands being a little chilly. It was 5 days of coldness. So I can see that in 30 years, it's like, oh, wow, we're back to a cold-ass New York. I can see that. I correlate that to the absence in any type of shooting because everybody was indoors. That's how cold it was. Nobody was outside. Daytime, nighttime, people was shucking like, yo, I got to get out. Yo, it's too cold. So I could see that being a correlation. Once it got warmer, now people got time like, oh, I could stand out here and argue with you. What timing you on? But right now they're saying so far for 2024, there were 39 shootings and 45 people shot. For 2025, 29 shootings and 45 people shot. So the numbers were reduced by 10 so far. And we're only in January. So maybe as time go on, the numbers will get reduced even more. We'll see. But I still think it correlates to how cold it was.
It better make significant gains during this cold weather months, because once we get into summer, they're going to be making up for lost time.
I agree. It's going to be like we've had 30 shootings for the month. That's like one shooting a day. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. You know. All right, let's run this next clip. Now, this one I like. This story is very, very interesting. I'm all about family and connections. I'm actually on Ancestry.com. Are you on Ancestry.com?
I don't think so. No.
You don't think so? It's either you know or you don't know. Are you on there or not?
I had somebody had me take one of those tests, but I really hope my information isn't on there. Like
Your information is in the data bank. I actually got a hit in the last couple of days on my great grandmother. So I'm always checking things. People are always connecting to me. Like it's an interesting project. You should check it out. But let's watch this video.
I did not know about this. I had to go and Google. So I landed on this New York Times article that breaks it down. President Carter's great-grandfather, James Thomas Gordy, was married, but he also had an enslaved woman, Esther Johnson. So he had kids with his wife, and he had a kid with Miss Esther Johnson. The child that he had with Miss Esther Johnson, the enslaved woman, was Berry Gordy, the first Berry Gordy. Okay, so he also had kids with his wife, and from those kids came Lillian Gordy, who is President Carter's mother. Woo! Okay, so again, James Thomas Gordy has a child with an enslaved woman, Miss Esther Johnson. That child is Berry Gordy Sr. Berry Gordy Sr. has a child, Berry Gordy Jr., known as Pops. Berry Gordy Jr. has Berry Gordy III, that we know as Motown. James Thomas Gordy also has a wife. They have their children. One of those children has Lillian Gordy. Lillian Gordy has President Carter. So Berry Gordy, President Carter have the same grandfather. So according to this article, Jeff Carter, President Carter's son, discovers all this and asks President Carter, hey, you know about this? To which President Carter says, yeah, it's no secret. We know. That is the connection between President Jimmy Carter and Motown's Berry Gordy. This question came from the story I did on Miss Rachel Clark. You can.
I was so distracted by her making tea or coffee or whatever she was doing. The click-clacking, I mean, I guess, I don't know. But that's an interesting story. That is, I've heard some stuff like that.
I'm like, well, I wonder, was there some scratching of the backs, at any point?
You know what? I took a trip to George Washington's estate down in Mount Vernon, and on his land they still have the living quarters where the slaves were. And I'm like, it's a room that looks like bedding, like how prisoner rooms look with multiple beds and stuff. And I was thinking, like, so in order for them to have relations with these enslaved women, you have to literally walk from the main house out to this spot, take one of them, like, come on, let's go. Everybody else is like, where you going? There's no work being done right now. Where are they taking you to? And then to bring you right back, and then you turn up pregnant. Like, that has to be some kind of story there. Like, you have your wife. Black people supposed to be
from what I hear, I don't think they were taking them anywhere. It was happening right there in the quarters, and you know, it was like
in front of
a
the
show
other.
of dominance and power that you're doing that.
It could have been that, but I mean, based on the rooms that I'm seeing, it's completely cold in there. No heating source at all. None. No heating source in those rooms. I'm not staying in there. Yo, Ma, you gotta come outside. I'll bring you back. Like, I'm not staying in there. But what I'm trying to say is that we were supposed to be so bad, and just, you know, our only purpose was to provide service work. Why do you need to have sex with an enslaved woman? You have your wife there. Like, why? I don't know. Did you see the movie Life, when when the guy was sleeping with the father's son and he had the kid, and he holds the kid up, and he has the kid next to all the men trying to figure out who the father is, and they're all like, I'm the father, I'm the father, I'm the father. But it's like, with such a problem, but you want to have sex with an enslaved woman. She has that kind of value. Then I'm wondering what, I guess it sounds like the kid was taken care of because we have Barry Gordy, right? It sounds like they took care of the kid.
I don't know about that. The kid survived.
They probably took care of this kid. I had an old supervisor, and she was telling me a story that this Jewish man had fathered a child with someone in their family, and he sends checks to that child like every month. They keep it a secret, but he sends a check to the family for that kid like every month. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, like we all know we just keep it a secret, and he sends a check every month to support the kid. I'm like, oh my God. But, it's an interesting story to learn your history. You should get on Ancestry.com. It's a ton of information on there. It's fun. And if you don't think that your DNA is being spun around when you go get lab testing and it gets recorded in the medical database, you're mistaken.
I don't know. I've heard, the police being able to use these ancestry databases and stuff like that. I'm like, don't come to me because you think some relative of mine committed some sort of crime or something like that. I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Leave me out of that.
You're not turning nobody in. You're not getting nobody locked up.
No, and I'm like, the people that be trying to reach out to you, I don't know if you was a grifter or not. Like,
well, actually, some of the people have some real-time stories. Like, there's people that are still living at, like, someone contacted me, was like, your great-grandfather was my uncle. And I'm like, what? And then he starts naming like other relatives till he got down to my father. And he's like, yeah, these are my cousins. And I'm like, that's my father. So like, there are people still alive in real information. It's not bad. I don't think there's a conspiracy theory behind it. But your DNA is already being used for other things without your permission. They're just not telling you. So if you see a kid walking down the street that may look like you got to question it, Jamani. You got to be like, yo.
R.I.P. Henrietta Lack.
Exactly. So, you just got to be like, wait, hold on. That kid kind of looked familiar. But yeah, there you go. That's what we got for today.
Yeah, so join us on the next episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yes, just let us know. Let us know how you feel about the show. Subscribe. You can share it. We're just here to have some fun. See you all next time. JT, thanks for having me. Check in with you soon.
All right.
Bye, everyone.